Hi, it's Mick. Hopefully you've seen the first video I did of the silver Nissan Elgrand camper van, which is the first camper van conversion I've ever done in my life. To be honest with you, a lot of head scratching, a lot of hard work, wondering what to do, but now I did enjoy it so much I've decided to do another one. So this one's going to be Nissan Elgrand camper van conversion number 2. Should be easier because I've already done one. Famous last words, I don't know, we'll see. Right, the van arrived a few days ago. It's a Nissan Elgrand 2.5 Autotech Rider S, exactly the same as the silver one, in G30 metallic black. Basically, it's arrived dirty, all the rest of it. So I'll just talk through what we can actually do to the van before any of the camper work. Next year, obviously, the wheels will be done in black, the same as the silver one, powder coated in black, but keep the original alloys. We're going for like the stealth look on this sort of thing, I've decided. So the front two grills again, which are chrome, they'll be done like the silver again in Bentley gloss black. It'll be completely washed. Obviously any little minor marks or little scratches, it is in very good condition, will all be sorted out, and it will have a full body buff and everything like that with the paint to bring all the paintwork up. One of the rear light clusters has cracked, which I know about, which that will be replaced with a new light cluster. The two front headlamps will be taken out and they will be all, it's not teacup, but body compounded back and polished out so they come back to clear again because they've got like a yellow tinge. So I'm just going to show you a very quick clip of the van round the back that's just arrived. Okay? Right, okay, I'd just like to say if anybody needs any help or advice or wants to message me or comment or whatever, I'll be happy to help and get back to them. Now what I'm going to do is talk about the first stage of strip out. Basically, it took a day. All the seats in the back have been taken out, including all the rails, completely stripped out, ready for the floor. All the plastic panels and kick stands, whatever you call them, where, the side wells, they've all been taken out. Now what we've done, we've re-glued the insulation, and the Elgrand does have a lot of insulation on the floor anyway underneath. Does tend to come loose when you strip everything out, so that's been sprayed adhesive back in place. Where the rails have come out of, you've got the long lines as you'll see. They've been timber battens, so all timber battens cut to size, glued in place and left overnight. I'll show you the video of it in a moment. The next thing I want to speak about is, in the bottom you have 4 vents, which is from the rear air conditioner and all the heating. You can actually cut out the floor and put the vents back on and have them open, but we don't bother because, to be honest, you've got all the vents in the roof at the top, so you don't technically need to have them covered. So what you have to do is, on the plastic channels that you'll see, it's slightly raised by about 3mm. You have to trim all that down with a knife to get it flush so the floor will lay flat. Once that's done, then we've laid a 2mm foam insulation or underlay that's been glued down on top. There is a reason why you only go for the 2mm one, because if you go for anything thicker like 5mm underlay, it will raise the floor too high, so then when the floor's done, all your plastics will not fit back and click into place because, well, the floor's too high for a start, it just won't work. So you're bearing in mind this time I'm doing a floor totally different. I'm trying it with laminate flooring, and that is 7mm. So the 7 and the 2 obviously equals 9mm, and that's the most you can raise it up, so all the plastic panels will fit back in place. I'd just like to mention a chap called George Shacklady, who's on YouTube. Don't know him obviously. I've watched his videos. To give him credit, he's the chap that's given me the idea to try it with laminate flooring. I've watched his videos and I'm going to copy off it basically. And also what you'll see on his videos, which I'll show on mine when it's done, when you remove the seats and the runners, there is side strips either way of the runners, like a plastic rubbery strip. I've kept all those. I'm going to make at the top where the flooring, the laminate actually meets the carpet just behind the driver's and passenger front seat. I'm going to use that as edgings and do mitre joints and cut round it to finish it off nice and neatly. Right, okay, the next job I'd like to talk about is a bit of a nightmare, to be honest, extremely fiddly. Is running the main negative and positive power cable from the front of the engine bay, where the starter battery is, all the way through the van to the back of the van, where when your units are in place you'll have your electric box at the back of the van. So you've got to obviously run these cables through now before you put all your plastic trim back on, because it has to go all underneath the trim. Just try and explain and help as much as I can. You need to remove the starter battery to get more room to work on the engine bay. There's also a fuse box where your wiper fuses are, etc. You'll see that there's 3 bolts that have to be taken out. You have to bend that out of the way so you can actually see what you're doing. You will need somebody with a torch or some sort of light form, because it's hard to see. On the left hand side of the back of the engine bay, you'll see a rubber grommet about that size, which looks a bit like a CV boot, and that's where your main wiring harness goes through into the van. Now what you've got to do is, using a screwdriver or a long metal, is pierce a little hole through the rubber grommet, and hopefully do not damage any of the wiring loom or any of the cables. That's everything in there, and then you can push your red cable and your black cable through. That will come out as you open your front driver's door. Underneath it will come out near the accelerator pedal, and then you've got to pull it all through and then feed it through the plastics, under the plastic on the front driver's door, all through right the way back, and you'll see the video, all attached and tie wrapped and everything, right to the back of the van. Through there, and out into there. Right, thanks for watching. Basically we'll be continually updating. There's obviously a lot more work needs to be done. I'll be doing more work on the van between Christmas and New Year, and we'll be updating everything accordingly on the channel, every single job all the way through. So please subscribe, and that way you can see any updates or any more information that's gone on. I'd also like to mention, which I forgot earlier, since we've completed the silver one, most of you hopefully will have seen the video, that now is going to go up for sale. So if anybody's interested in it whatsoever, they can comment or message me. It will be up for sale for £18,995. It's got a brand new fresh conversion in it, never been used, just been finished. Thank you very much.